Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gannon, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you have the chance, go check out our website, justsayingfootball.com. Follow us on Instagram at Just Saying No GWJS for article and video updates. And don't forget to check us out on podcast now, officially on Spotify. Just take a look at Just Saying Football. You'll see us there. Hit the bell. We're on 12 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays, Mondays, and Fridays. Good times get us in your ears. But we got a week 9 Monday night football matchup, buddy.
We do.
And it's a good one when the Baltimore Ravens make their way to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Gotta stop swiveling around in this moving chair. It's a little bit different for me. Normally we're in stationary chairs.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts going to this one? Michael Thomas out for the year. Mark
Mhm.
Ingram out in this one. Marshawn Lattimore out in this one. But then on the flip side, the Ravens have a ton of injuries as well. Bateman out for the year. Mark Andrews not going to be in this one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see how Baltimore adjusts without Mark Andrews. That is their guy, their leading receiver right now. He is very important to Lamar. He has 5 of the 15 touchdowns Lamar has passing this year. He's leading the team with 488 yards, and now they're going to have to get Isaiah Likely, the rookie, to step in today. I think it's going to be great. They're going to have to really get everybody else involved. DeMarcus Robinson, Devin Duvernay, they're going to need to do that. I'm interested as well. This Ravens defense has been a little up and down lately throughout the season, and New Orleans has been kind of that team that can either throw you off, score a lot of points against you, or make you score no points,
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens team just last week shut out the Raiders. It was no problem for them, and their defense does play well. They're 12th in defensive pass yards per game, only allowing 208, and they're 14th in rush yards, only allowing 112 yards, and that's the bread and butter of this Ravens team is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And I do expect them to do that in this one with all the injuries to the wide receivers and to their receiving core. They're going to have to go back to what it is that Lamar does well, which is run the ball. And Gus Edwards is on this one. So I expect a lot of Kenyon Drake, a lot of J.K. Dobbins in this one. They're going to have to move the ball well.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a big run game. I feel like a lot of the primetime games we talk about are the clock management. The team that wins is really the one that can maintain everything. Right now, New Orleans is a top 10 scoring offense. Baltimore is a top 5 scoring offense right now. So I do expect a good amount of points. Both of these defenses are, bottom ranked, 20th in the league right now. So there are some things that, New Orleans does really well. They are good. They're very balanced passing and running. With Lamar, you have the second best running team and one of the lowest scoring passing teams, which I think they're going to have to do a lot more tonight, despite having not having their favorite weapon. New Orleans is going to keep the Ravens continuously on pace throughout this game. That's how I'm thinking. I think that it's going to be tough, even though everyone really likes Baltimore on paper a lot more,
Yeah, see, for me, it's some of the key matchups. No Marshawn Lattimore is going to be big for that secondary, despite the lack of passing game from the Ravens. But the addition of Roquan Smith is going to be huge, especially when you're going up against a guy named Alvin Kamara, who runs the ball well, catches the ball to the backfield so well. And I'm really excited to see him. Not only is he not in my division, which is great for me as a Vikings fan, with Roquan Smith not being there, because he's an absolute animal. Again, I say it time and time again, I feel like one of the most underrated linebackers in the league.
Yes, absolutely.
Still to this day, since he got drafted out of Georgia in the first round. But that's a huge matchup coming into this one. I think that they're going to be able to keep them in check. There's a reason why they went out and got Roquan Smith, because that front seven was missing a leader. Now they got their leader. They got their field general to help direct this defense, which will hopefully help out Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey in this great secondary. They also signed Marcus Williams, former Saints player, now coming back to New Orleans, seeing his former team.
True.
You know what I mean? I'm rocking with the Ravens in this one. I think there's a lot for them at stake. The Bengals coming off a huge win. The Browns are surging. You got Deshaun Watson coming back to the facility next Monday on November 14th, eligible to play on their December 4th game against the Texans. The division's getting tough for the AFC North right now, and every win matters. And up right now, up against the Saints, you got to win this game on the road. I think it's not going to be a pretty game. I think we're looking at a really not a lot of scoring, quite honestly, despite the 2 top 10 high scoring offenses. It's a 48-point over under right now. Ravens are currently favored by 2.5. I'll happily take that 2.5. I think it's only going to be a field goal or 2 field goal kind of game. I think it's going to be below 48 points too. I don't really see either team scoring more than 20-ish points in this one for some reason. I think it's going to be defense, and who's going to make that one mistake?
I feel like, yeah, exactly. I'm on the same wave as you with like the lower points than people expect, despite the fact, like I said, these are top 10 scoring offenses. But I feel like with that, these defenses, this coaching staff on both ends, they're going to be prepared for, what philosophy is in front of them. I like the Ravens as well. The 2.5, I'll hammer that 100%. Because, like you said, if it comes down to a couple field goals, you got the best kicker in Baltimore right there. And New Orleans, that's a tough place to play, but they have been beaten at home this year. We saw the Bengals do it, Tampa Bay do it. So I'm confident that New Orleans can do it, but it depends on what Alvin Kamara they're going to have. If they have the 3-touchdown Alvin Kamara from last week, it's going to be interesting. If they don't, it's a lot more heavier to the Ravens in my sense too. Like we talked about, they don't have a lot of receivers. They're out their top tight end, but they still got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and I will just say this about the Saints: it wouldn't surprise me if they win this game. I said I'm going to take the Ravens, but it wouldn't surprise me because one of the things that has been a great surprise for them, despite all the injuries for the receiving core, Chris Olave has been doing really, really well. I think at times, and hopefully he'll have a big game in this one. But Andy Dalton, we've given the Red Rifle some crap in the past, but he's played really well for the Saints, despite all the injuries. He doesn't have Michael Thomas he's throwing to. He's working with the depleted receiving core as well, and he's stepping up and he's showing out. He's been able to move the ball down the field, and he's playing well in the stead of Jameis Winston, who everyone loved for the Saints and loved what he was been able to do with the team last year and this year. So Andy Dalton still is able to move the ball down the field well.
Yeah.
You should be happy about the Saints fans because it could be much worse. It could be we could be in a Colts situation or a Raiders situation right now. So, small wins sometimes. Small wins.
Yeah, no, I agree though. I mean, he has stepped up and played. They are, competitive in their division right now, since the NFC South is definitely the worst division this year. They're still in the running with that. So if they win this game, maybe we'll take them a lot more seriously going down the line. But man, this is their game to lose. They're at home. They got a good staff. It's Monday night, prime time. You don't want a team coming on the road and beating you, but it's going to be tough for them not to this week.
Yeah, if the Saints get the win, though, all of a sudden, 4-5 Buccaneers, 4-5 Falcons, 4-5 Saints, and the NFC South gets that much tighter, and those divisional games mean that much more. And it just getting, this is we're in the back end of week 9 now. We're in the Monday night football week 9. We're in the second half of the season officially. All right, things are getting really real. These games matters. The division games matters. We're getting close. The only division that looks safe right now is for the freaking Vikings. I can't believe, and even then we're probably about to drop a few. So right now these games really, really matter for these teams. It's going to be really, really important, I think, for the Saints to try to win this game. But I am rocking with the Ravens in this one.
I like that. We'll take them all day on the road.
That's all the time that we have. Thank you everyone for listening and for tuning in. We'll be back in the podcast studio and the studio this week, so don't worry. No more Zoom. We just had to with this Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, it's been a crazy season, but we got another great game. Remember, always check us out, Just Saying Football on YouTube. Like, subscribe there. Check us out. Comment anything you like to see. Also, Spotify, like my friend said before. Check us out, Just Saying Football there as well. Subscribe on there, hit that bell, and remember to check us out, justsayingfootball.com. Thank you guys for checking us out and listening.
Enjoy.